Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear viewers, welcome back. This is video number 2 in our series, learning how to recite the Quran through Ahsanul Qawaid. In the previous video, we learnt the letters in the Arabic alphabet and how to pronounce them correctly. Before moving on to this video, I hope you've learnt the lesson from the first video. It's very important that before we move on to the next video, we learn the previous lesson thoroughly. In this video, inshallah, we will learn the different forms that the letters take when they appear in a word. So how they look when they appear at the beginning of a word, in the middle of a word, and at the end of a word. Now in the book, they've given this section here called joining up letters, where they've listed each letter in alphabetical order, starting with alif, right up until ya, and they've given the form of each letter, how it appears in the middle, first at the beginning, then in the middle, and then at the end of a word. Okay, now I'm not going to go through this myself. Inshallah, I hope you will go through it yourselves and familiarize yourselves with the forms of each letter. Like I said, they're in alphabetical order, so you've learned your letters by now. You should go through each one. Alif, alif, alif at the beginning, alif at the middle, and alif at the end of a word. Then ba, then ta, and so on and so forth. And go through each one until you reach ya, and familiarize yourself with the forms of the letters. So moving on, we will start the lesson 2a. In this lesson, the objective is to be able to recognize the form of the letter when it is placed at the beginning of a word. And one important thing to note is that the letters alif, dal, dhal, ra, za, and waw are independent letters, which means that when they appear at the beginning of a word, they will always remain independent and not join up with the letter after it. So the example they've given here is amara. Yeah, the alif here is independent of the meme. It's not joined up. And when they appear in the middle or end of a word, they will never be joined with the letter after it from the left. So the example they've given here is sadaqa. So the dal is not joined up to the qaf. Okay, so these letters only join with the letter before, but never join with the letter after it. Ba, 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 ta, 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 tha, 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 jim, jim, ha, ha, kha, kha, sin, sin, sheen, sheen, sad, sad, ضاد, ضاد, عين, عين, غين, غين, فاء, فاء, قاف, قاف, كاف, كاف, لام, لام, ميم, ميم, نون, 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 هاء, هاء, همزة, همزة, ya, ya, ya. Moving on to the exercise. Ghain, hamza, ba, fa, lam, sad, noon, tha, kha, ain, sheen, mim, ha, ha, qaf, sin, ضاد, تا, جيم, يا, كاف, نون, باء, ثاء, تاء, يا. Lesson 2b. Here the objective is to be able to recognize the form of the letter when it is placed in the middle of a word. So before we learned in lesson 2a how the letters appear at the beginning of a word, lesson 2b, we will learn the form of the letter when it appears in the middle of a word. Alif, alif, alif. Ba, ba, ta, ta, عين عين غين غين فاء فاء قاف قاف لام لام ميم ميم نون نون هاء 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 يا يا. Moving on to the exercise. عين فاء هاء غين قاف. Now the examples that follow, there are two letters. Okay, a letter in the form that it takes at the beginning and a letter in the middle. It's important to remember that in Arabic, unlike most other languages, we read from right to left. Right to left. So can you see here? The ba comes first. And the middle letter is a kha. So it's very important that we remember that we read from right to left. Ba kha ba ghain noon ain ba qaf noon jim ya mim kaf alif. Okay, moving on to lesson 2C. The objective here is to recognize the form of the letter when it is placed at the end of a word. So we learned previously how it appears at the beginning of a word and in the middle of a word. Now we are learning how the letter will appear at the end of a word. Alif, alif, alif. Ba, ba. Ta, 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 ta. Ain, ain. Ghain, ghain. Fa, fa. Qaf, qaf. Lam, lam. Mim, mim. Noon, noon. Ha, ha, ha. Ya, ya. Moving on to the exercise. Now in the exercise, they've given the form of the letter at the beginning and at the end. So beginning and end, and not a letter in the middle. So the form of the letter at the beginning of a word and at the end of a word. Ba, sin, ta, ra, ta, mim, jim, lam, ha, jim, kha, ta, sin, dal, shin, ra, ain, ذال صاد باء ضاد دال غين ميم فاء ذال قاف لام كاف نون لام ميم نون كاف هاء لام همزة ذال ياء راء ثاء جيم نون تاء ثاء با نون ضاء همزة عين لام ألف كاف لام ميم تاء باء هاء كاف ألف تاء ياء ثاء ياء باء ياء لام ياء نون ياء. And that brings us to the end of lesson 2. I hope you have benefited, inshallah. In our next video, we will start lesson 3, where we start learning the Arabic vowels and how to spell words. Inshallah, before you can move on to the next lesson, I do hope you learn the previous lessons thoroughly. So please do like, share, comment and subscribe, and hit that notification button so you can be notified when the next video has been uploaded. Jazakumullahu khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.